Hello everybody, good afternoon, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge for Chelsea versus Brentford this Premier League weekend. I hope you're all doing very, very well. Apologies for being a little bit late, but if I told you why I was late, you probably wouldn't believe me. I was having a threesome. No, I wasn't really. Not that I haven't anyway, but no, I was more mundane things than that. I've been down to Sainsbury's getting some pumpkins, and then I made a bacon sandwich that took longer than I thought, and then I couldn't get a password to work on Seb's iPad, and then I had problem getting my Sky to work again. So yeah, Mr. Bombastic, clearly fantastic, says Mason. Yeah, so I hope we're all doing very well. Looking forward to this game. Obviously, let me just get set up here with the stuff because I'm ready, but I'm not ready, if you know what I mean. Here we go. Let's get the stats carousel running around. Remember, we're sponsored by OneFootball. Download it for free. Get all your latest breaking football news and transfer news today. All your stats available free to download with OneFootball app. Links in the description, or scan the QR code next to me there. Minutes applause for Sir Bobby Charlton here, which will be done by every Premier League club, which is absolutely fantastic to see that love for Mr. Football. Not just a Manchester United legend, but an England legend, a football legend. And yeah, lovely to see that around the grounds. That's what we should be. We saw that. I'm a big advocate of this. There's still anti-people to what I'm about to say, but I'm a big advocate of this. We're rivals, we're not enemies. You know, we saw it with the Super League. Things happen in football now that impact on us all. And I really do believe that we're stronger together. You look at the PGMOL. Yorkie says, just seen how your mate Lisa's just... I don't normally get involved in Twitter stuff, right? But I replied to this girl on Twitter who actually has always been okay. She probably gets her account shut down a hell of a lot because she's always messaging me saying, can you follow me on my new account? Beth went to sign the book of condolence for Sir Bobby Charlton, and you get sent a picture by the photographer, the official photographer, because Man United want those pictures out there. So Beth posted the picture of her signing Sir Bobby Charlton's book of condolence, and she quote tweeted it just in a really bitter, odd way. How can it ever be a negative to celebrate the life of one of the greatest legends in football? And how can it be for social media clout? It doesn't make any sense. So I just replied to her and I said, grow up. And then she's on about United Stan being negative and divisive. This is the channel that sticks by the manager and is telling people to stick by the manager, talks about the financials at the club. It's probably because I don't rate Harry Maguire. You know, that's divisive apparently. But I guarantee old Lisa doesn't like some player as well. But I just said to her, look, grow up. You know, you're always asking me to follow your new account and now you're slagging people off. I'm not getting into a Twitter argument, but have some consistency. Stop being a bloody hypocrite. But these people do exist. Twitter's full of them. Absolutely full of them. All I'd say is I wish you all the best. It must be horrible to live with such anger and bitterness every single day. It's Saturday. Have a bacon sandwich. Put an egg on it. Have a mini Twix. That's what I've just done for dinner. Well happy. Couldn't be happier. I'm live with you lot. It's great. Many celebrities have signed the book of condolences. I wouldn't let anything a random person says on Twitter, Mark. They have nothing better to do, says Nick. Yeah, but I will call them out every now and again because I'm not worried. I'm not scared of saying what I think, and I will stick up for people. So, I couldn't give a shit whether she's replied or not. I won't be reading the reply because that's one thing I do on Twitter a lot is I tweet and I don't reply. So I don't read the replies. It's a great habit I have. Who's your favourite pundit, Mark? Says Juice World. You lot. I'm living the dream. I'm watching games like this with you. I have the best pundits in the world. I've got 3,600 of them. There might be 10,000 in a few minutes. I have the best pundits in the world. I don't need to listen to bullshit. Like Paul Merson. The podcast is going to be great this week. Pratt Pundit of the Week is back. And we've got some amazing candidates. Martin Keown, Jamie Carragher, Paul Merson. It's only Saturday morning. Paul Merson, I don't understand why Harry Maguire's not been playing for Man United every week. Hello, Paul. Were you just sat in a daze last season? 17 clean sheets, third in the league without Harry Maguire. That's why he wasn't being picked, Paul. You're sensationalist, lack of research, Pratt. And this is what you're subjected to. God knows what they're getting paid to mumble that rubbish. They just don't do any research. I don't think they actually genuinely watch football. Anyway, let's have a look at the team news, because you can see the Chelsea team on the screen. But there's more to life than that. There is a Brentford side here. Look, Chelsea are in a really bad way. We know this. They've had an interesting start to the season. They're currently down in 10th position. A massive 13 points off Spurs. They are 8 points off 4th. They've got to win today. And the team that Poch has gone with is Sanchez, Disasi, Thiago Silva, Colwill, Cucurella, Gallagher, Casido, Madueke, Palmer, Sterling and Jackson. And they're on the break here with Sterling, who gives it into Palmer, who has played quite well for them so far, and it's a decent cross, but nothing happens with it. No Mudryk on the bench for Chelsea. Reece James is on the bench again for them, but bit of a weird bench for Chelsea, actually. Ugo Chukwu, Badashil, James, Gusto, Petrovic, Matson, De Sousa, Beach, and Matos. And then the Brentford side, Fleckin, Azure, Pinnock, Collins, Roslev, Jensen, Norgard, Janelt, Hickey, Mbumo, and Visa are in their team. I've made some big changes in my Fantasy Premier League, actually. Two transfers. Didn't cost me any points to do it. Sort of did it in a bit of a daze, if I'm being honest with you. I've removed Alvarez and Højlund because my front three was Højlund, Alvarez, and Haaland, and I just thought in a Manchester derby you can't have a front three in the same team. So I've put Ollie Watkins in, and I'll have to have a look who else I put in actually. I'm off to a decent start though, because Son's been great for me. He has been great for me. So I've got 10 points already. Son got me 10 yesterday. I've got Evan Ferguson in. Might not even play. My captain's Haaland. I've got Watkins. Have I got anyone playing in this game? Well, I would have if he was playing, Gusto. But I've got Colwill, but he's on the bench. So no, I've obviously got no Brentford players. I think I've got. Did anyone listen? Well, here's a question for you. Did anybody remember? I'll ask you in a minute. Chelsea are knocking the ball around at the moment. I'll come back to that one in a minute. It's relevant, but I just want to get back on my chat. Went for a pint at New Century before Chemical Brothers last night. It has made me so much more excited for the Christmas show. Ultras, says Lee Berman. Yeah, looking forward to the Christmas show. Special guest will be announced next week. It's really the problem I've got with the Christmas show at the moment. I don't know how we're going to fit it all in. That's what she said. But I think it's a 2-hour show, and I've already got about 3 hours worth of ideas. So we'll have to cut it down a little bit, which means the quality will just get better. What was I going to say? Yes, I need a bit of help. I put the link in the chat for the podcast. Please do support it and download it. It's a fantastic ultra cult community. We do a podcast on a Tuesday, which is more in depth. And then we do a podcast on Friday, which is about the weekend, really. On both days, we have different games that you can get involved in. On the Friday, I do something called Goldbridge with Will, where we have to pick 5 goal scorers for the weekend. And we get a point for every goal they score. It's 8-7 to me at the moment. I can't remember who I put down as my goal scorers for this week. So it's sort of ruining it for me that I don't remember who I put down. I didn't write them down anywhere. And I think I put Jackson down. But if anyone's listened to the podcast, it will be in the last 5 minutes if anyone wants to go and listen to the podcast and tell me. But I don't know where I wrote them down. Which is disappointing. Yeah, I've got no bloody idea. Oh, maybe it was on here. I definitely wrote it down somewhere. Oh, what a twat. I'll probably put it in the fire. Will you do an El Clasico watch-along, says Frederick? No. I definitely had Jackson. You're right, Lee. I did definitely have Jackson. I can't remember who else. I didn't put Klopp. He can't score. Win, lose or draw. We've had a week off because Ben Foster went to Dubai. So, well, he probably can afford it. He's probably loaded. Well, he can afford it. He definitely can afford it. He went. And a lot of people have been to Dubai, but some of the hotels can cost you... There's a hotel in Dubai, I think it's called the Atlantis, where it can cost you $30,000 a week. Luton equals shit. Sheffield United, no chance. I think this might be it. Danny Murphy's a wanker. Yeah, this is definitely it. So I had Jackson versus Brentford. I've got this is Goldbridge that we do on the podcast, my 5. You can pick 5 if you want, although you're a bit late because there was a game last night. I've got Evan Ferguson against Fulham. He's got to start first. I've got Rashford against City. I've got Watkins against Luton. I've got Salah against Forest. And I've got Jackson against Brentford. There you go. Would you rather be a Jedi or a wizard, says Rice and Peas. Oh, I'd love to be a Jedi. I'm not really a bloody wizard. When I think about wizards, I think about long grey beard, big cloak, basically a nonce. And then when I think about a Jedi, I think tight-fitting black suit, big, massive, fluorescent sword that is hot, that you can extend. It's an extender, yeah. Definitely a Jedi. Brentford on the attack here. I'm going to go with the Chelsea winning this game. There's a foul on the edge of the box there. Referee doesn't want to know. He's bold. He's crap, this ref. What referee was this? This referee's been crap this season. What's he done? What has he done? You know. Here they are. Raheem Sterling. Into the box. Madueke shoots. The thing I find funny about Chelsea as well is, and I don't know whether anybody agrees with me on this, but the thing I find funny about Chelsea is that the team changes all the time, doesn't it? I'd be Gandalf over a Jedi, says Ryan. Ooh, I don't mind Gandalf, but he ain't getting any action, is he? He ain't walking in a bar and going, hey, chicks, here I am. The babe magnet. You walk in like Luke Skywalker in that Jedi black outfit in a green lightsaber. They're going to be pleased to see you. I love the channel and the pod, Mark. I'm a big Liverpool fan, but your level-headed opinion is a breath of fresh air with today's media, says Rebecca. Thanks, Rebecca. You know, on this channel, I love that sort of feedback. And thank you very much for your super chat anyway. But no, I just think we do it in a way on here that's the right way to do it. And I think people are starting to copy it now. It's hilarious seeing other YouTube creators who I've seen vile, absolutely vile to rival players, now doing rival content level-headed. I'm like, you are such a fake. But I'm not going to call them out. I'm not going to name them because I don't get involved in those things. But in a way, though, look, we as a community have revolutionised the way people consume football with the watch-along. And hopefully we're going to start a revolution where you have level-headed football opinion. Because, as I say, it's rivals, not enemies. I can't be doing with this vile treatment of other fans. Cole Palmer's cooking, says Somali Flame. Well, Conor Gallagher's just had a good shot there. Did anyone see Did anyone see the Chris MD video that he did? Sort of like Avenger style YouTubers trying to score worldies. It came out last night. I don't think I should have won it. Not saying I shouldn't have won it. The fact that Chris MD put himself in 3 times in the top 10 means that I didn't know that was the rules, but he's a very good player. But I think I should have been in the top 10. Like, I just think the camera angle didn't do me any justice. I've literally volleyed it straight into the top corner. on my right foot. And I think it was worthy of top 10. But even Chris MD said at the time that's not getting in the top 10. I thought, oh, there must be some absolute crackers in the top 5. There's some right crackers, but I reckon I could have made it in the top 10. Has anybody? That's not a foul. That's not a foul. That is a foul. Oh my God, this ref's fucking rubbish. He's rubbish. What? He's done stuff before. He has. I'm sure he's messed up before. Sean Wright says this ref is rubbish. What's this referee done before? He's made a big mistake in a game. He wasn't the ref for the... Well, it wouldn't matter if he was the ref for the Spurs-Liverpool game because that's not really on him. Oh, I know his name's Simon Hooper. I love football! I fucking love football! I just love football! Does anybody... Do you ever just get that feeling on a Saturday? I love football. I love it. I'm not going to get it tomorrow. I might not. Hopefully I do get it tomorrow. But I just love football. I love it. Sometimes I just get that urge to say, I love football. I love watching football. I love watching it with you lot. I just love it. He's one big mistake, says Adam Young. You been speaking to his parents? We shouldn't say that. I mean, he's probably in his 40s. Statistically, a lot of people in their 40s don't still have both parents alive. Some people will think I'm being jokey here, but I'm not. You've got to be very careful doing jokes on people's parents when they're over 40. Statistics are terrible. You know, there's a good proportion that will have lost someone. You think about it, most people have kids when they're in their 20s. So if you're over 40, your parents are 70, and, you know, a lot of people are living till 90 now, but there are still people that are very unhealthy. And 70 years of putting the wrong thing in your mouth is can have mortal effects. I'm talking about food and cigarettes. I'm not talking about cock or anything like that, which I don't know the benefits of that. Some people say it's full of protein. I don't know. I just think, to be honest, I've always thought that this sounds really sus, but I read somebody somewhere, I don't know where, I'm not going to say it's a mate because it's sus, but I read somewhere say that, you know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, I'm not going to explain it, but basically, think about something in your mouth that's not football, and not food, and is sexual, that somebody said it's got more protein than a banana. Now, if that's the case, it's sus. What they're doing, going around nightclubs and saying, you know, have you had your 5 a day? You've only had 4. There you go. It's terrible. Terrible. This game, I'm trying to keep an eye on this game. But Ladios says it's just skin, Mark. What protein? No, it's not the skin. It's the end game. It's what happens at the end. I'm not hungover. I don't get hungover if I drink certain drinks. You give me 6 pints of Madry, I'll be hungover. If I have like four glasses of red wine, I feel fine. Red wine, you got me so fine. Red wine. I almost feel like I'm still feeling the effects. I'm fine. Who's run the research? And I don't know who's run the research. I just remember somebody somewhere saying that there's more protein in it than a banana, which is just incredible, disgusting as well. I certainly won't. I certainly won't be partaking in that, and I would suggest that nobody ever believes that bullshit. Love the channel, Mark, and the pod. I'm a big Glazer fan, but your level-headed opinion is a breath of fresh air with today's media, says George Taylor. You're a big Glazer fan? George, come on. Everything you said there sounded good. What a shovel for the hole you're digging, says Jack. I'm not shoveling a hole. I'm not. We need a goal in this game, though. That rhymes with hole. I feel there is a Chelsea goal coming, but as I've seen with Brentford before, they are very resilient. That would have been a free kick on the edge of the box. Not given. Could Son win the Golden Boot, says Noah. Well, Son won the Golden Boot with Salah, didn't he? The season before, 2 seasons ago. Last season, I don't know where he went. This season, he's back again. So, of course he can. By the way, if you are on That's Football, you are very welcome. Everybody is welcome on here. Conor Gallagher, Palmer, edge of the box. Can't get a shot off. Brentford playing a very intent low block here. Please do subscribe to the channel. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with That's Football. You're all welcome. I don't really know what the plan is this weekend. It's a bit fragmented, to be honest, because I have my Talk Sport show tonight at 7:30, which is on YouTube, or you can call in. Make sure you listen to that, 7:30 till 9. Looking forward to be back on that. That's got to be a goal. Oh, Cucurella. Cucurella. He's been on the Strella. That's a terrible miss. That's terrible. I'm finishing this. It's a lovely cross by Cole Palmer. If you've got Cole Palmer in your team, you should have an assist. But Cucurella, he's been on the Stella because that's a pissed up finish. That's terrible. Rubbish. I mean, anybody who thinks that's hard, it's not. The cross is brilliant. It's not too quick. It's right on his right foot. He's got to go right side or left side. It's an inside of the foot chance, so you're passing it in. You know, technically, that's not a difficult chance because to hit it, you've got to use the instep, and the instep, as we know with passing, is where you get better direction. So yeah, bad miss. What non-football celebrity death shook you the most? Robbie Williams for me, says Rice and Peas. Robbie Williams is not dead. Unless it's happened today. I mean, I have been out. No, latest thing from Robbie Williams. He says, documentary A Trauma Watch. He says that, no, it's not him. I've just realised my mistake. Robin Williams. Robin Williams. I've read it wrong. Yeah, that was a shock. I do like Robin Williams. Well, I do like Robin Williams. I think the great thing about film is, even though you're dead, you're alive. The amazing thing about film is, wait a minute, Chelsea, Sterling, would have been offside anyway. Put it over the bar. Chelsea getting closer to a goal here. Have you ever thought this about film? This is really interesting. I've watched Jaws about 30 times. Quint is dead the first time I watch it. Like he gets eaten by a shark. Spoiler alert. But every time I watch it, again, he's alive until he gets eaten by the shark. Isn't that incredible about film? Like the first time you watch it, you know, he gets eaten by a shark, so you know he's dead. But then when you watch it again, he's alive again. And you believe he's alive again until I've seen him, you know, I'd love to do film because even if you're dead in real life, even if you die in the film, you're alive until that. Great. Glazer's commitment to Manchester United is evident through continuous investment in sport. George, don't do it again because I know you're a troll now and I won't read it. You've done 2 super chats. Appreciate that. The joke's over. I know you're a troll, so we won't be reading any more nonsense like that. Brentford very much counter-attacking here, as you can see. 64% possession for Chelsea. This is not unusual. This is not unusual for Brentford. They beat Man United last season 4-0 with 30% possession. I think they beat Liverpool last season with 27% possession. So it's the Brentford way. They're not too fussed about possession for that. It is a great thing about film. It is amazing. I often think about my prosperity. Not prosperity. Prosperity is wealth, isn't it? I do think about that. But no, what's the thing where you live on? It's like, it's not prosperity. Not legacy. There's a word for it. It's not prosperity and it's not legacy. Longevity, random. That's something else, but I've definitely had thinking about that. Yamin says, if you hadn't done YouTube, would you have done film? I want to get into film. I do want to do film because I think it's a great legacy film, isn't it? If you can get into that. I mean, let's be honest. No one's going to be watching Chelsea versus Brentford, Goldbridge, Watchalong in 2 weeks, let alone 10 years. You know, this type of content, as good as it is, it has a shelf life of probably a couple of hours. If the only way for the Glazers to leave Man United would be for you to glaze them, would you do it? Says Yash. What? I don't know what glazing is. Jaws is my favourite romance movie, says Mike. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Jaws is a romantic film. If Die Hard is a Christmas film and Jaws is a romantic film. And Jaws the Revenge is a Christmas film because it starts off at Christmas. Here's Madawiki. Thanks for the contribution, Q-Boss. Thoughts on the Spurs match, says Zone. Well, I didn't do a watch-along last night. I did want to do one, but I knew I couldn't do it on Wednesday because of... I had too much on yesterday. We had a couple of people off from the United stand, so I had to do 3 streams on the United stand. I had to do EAFC, so I couldn't do the watch-along last night. So that's the honest answer. I wanted to do it, I just couldn't do it. So, but I had an eye on it when I was doing the United stand, and then I was watching a bit of the second half, and that's not a penalty. No way. Sterling doesn't do himself any favours, does he? Fucking hell. Absolutely not a penalty. He wasn't pushed. It's not a penalty, that. It's a dive. Anyone with a brain knows that. Play on. But no, I'm very impressed with Spurs. I mean, the first goal was a bit lucky. I mean, the fact that Crystal Palace were on the attack and then Spurs go up the other end and score that first goal. But, you know, I think Spurs are just a breath of fresh air at the moment. They should be sponsored by Airwaves. They're absolutely brilliant at the moment. And to be, you know, played Monday night and then Friday night, I'm sure... Look, I don't like Friday night football, but I bet Spurs fans love it because it just puts them breathing space on everybody else. And then you sit back and watch the weekend and just say, look, Spurs fans will be wanting United to win the derby. That they've just got to hope and see that if somebody drops points who's in that race with them. So, but Palace played, the thing is, it's not, the impressive thing about Spurs for me is that Palace played quite well. It's not easy to go to Selhurst Park and win 2-0, and Spurs are not an accomplished, experienced Premier League title contending side. You know, obviously you'd expect Man City and Arsenal to go to Palace and win, but the way Spurs are winning at the moment, there's a real steel and determination to them. Palmer's bossing the game. He's so creative, says George Kelly. Sterling and Jackson are not good enough for us, but rivals rate Sterling because he performs against relegation fodder, says George. I've never been a massive fan of Raheem Sterling. I think he's a good player, and I think Pep Guardiola got a lot out of him. And I think when he started off at Liverpool, he looked like he was going to be a superstar, but I don't think he's ever... I mean, it's hard to place Raheem Sterling when he retires. Where would you put him? I mean, he's better than an Ashley Young, that's for sure. But as far as England players go, what would you compare him to in relation to previous wingers that we've had? I mean, he's not a John Barnes or a Chris Waddle. You know, he's not that level of a winger, but he does score goals. Jack Clancy says there's been a lot of celebrity deaths that have shocked me. Tina Turner, Chadwick Boseman, Kobe Bryant, Bray Wyatt. It's all a big shame, says Jack. We probably shouldn't get into celebrity deaths that shocked you. Here we go. Jackson in a 1v1. He's done quite well. Tackled quite easily. He's got to find the pass there. Got to find the pass. Yamin says, if there was a tier list, I'd put Sterling in the B section. Do you think he's any better than Trevor Sinclair was, says Deathbane. I think one of the celebrity deaths that upset me the most was probably Alan Rickman, the criminal or bad guy in Die Hard. Often called the bad guy, I call him a criminal. At the end of the day, he's a criminal. He's not a bad guy. He wasn't invited to that party at the Akatomi Tower. He killed the person who organised the party, held a load of people against their will, caused an immense amount of criminal damage, and then tried to steal things that weren't his. So let's not beat about the bush. He's not a bad guy. He's a criminal. And that's what he should be called. Also, Professor Snape in Harry Potter, and a cheater and a father in Love Actually. But I really liked Alan Rickman. I was sad when he died. Very, very distinctive voice. Oh, and don't forget Robin Hood, the bad guy in that. Was he a criminal in Robin Hood? Well, in those days, it's hard to define what the law was, and he was the Sheriff of Nottingham, so he probably made the rule. I'd be happy to say he was a bad guy in Robin Hood. It's hard to define what crimes he took. I mean, he did kill his nephew, but he was a bit of a shit. Prince of Thieves is a great film. I love it. I love it on Christmas Eve, when you sat there on Christmas Eve and you know, you might have had a drink, you've had a bit to eat, and it's about 8 o'clock on Christmas Eve, and you're feeling all, well, some people aren't feeling happy, but you just go on your phone, see what's going on, and then some brainwave around 8 o'clock on Christmas Eve goes, there's an incident at the Nakatomi Plaza, and you just think, God, I wish I was that switched on. What a tweet. Mark, never forget Steve Irwin. That was a shocker, mister, that was a shocker. But he died doing what he likes to do. Shane Warne was a shock, yeah. Mr. V says Chelsea are going to score in the next 5 minutes. Well, we've had half an hour here. Kenneth says he was funny in Galaxy Quest. Not seen that. Watched the cracking film last night. Finished it off last night, actually. True Romance. Hadn't seen it in a few years. Went to see Pulp Fiction in the cinema in the summer. And it got me back into like watching all the Tarantino films again. And I couldn't find True Romance anywhere without paying for it. And I'll never pay for it. I'll never pay for that stuff that you're thinking about. And I'll never pay for watching old films. There's always a way to find it for free. And I found it a couple of days ago on ITVX, and I finished it off last night. It's a very good film, True Romance. This game is going the way we sort of thought it would. Chelsea with a lot of the ball, Brentford doing the defensive work. Here's Disasi playing at right back for Chelsea. He's got it here. Nice little roll ball into Conor Gallagher. And goes for a goal kick. Keith Chegwin, says Alan Leese. Yep. Yeah, I agree with Ross. I mean, I don't really want to get into this subject, really, but... Chelsea are on the attack. Corner ball. The fragility of life is hard for the human mind to deal with. And I think when Kobe Bryant's death got announced, you're like this iconic, larger-than-life sporting legend, you know, gone like that because of an incident in a helicopter. And it's hard for your brain to compute that because these people have legacies built up over years and years and years. And then suddenly it's all over and you're like, that's not how it's meant to be. But I think that comes with life and experience, doesn't it? You know, one of my best friends from school, his brother died, who was younger than us this week with cancer, just over 40. And you're just like, it doesn't make sense. And again, I mean, I wouldn't say we were close, but I know him. And I know him because he was friends, he was the brother of my mate. But again, a larger than life character. And you just life's there for living, you know. I think too many people, Paul Walker's another one as well. I think too many people spend too much time hating and being bitter, and they might walk down the road, you know, their legacy on Twitter might be slagging somebody off, walk down the shops, get in a car crash and die. And you think, it's just not. That's not what you're here for. And if you're here for that, then you shouldn't even be here. It's just a waste of time to live like that. I did like Bottom, Kenneth, yes, with Rick Mail. I had to clarify that very quickly. Alan Rickman was underappreciated in my opinion, says Jack. Here's a true story. I've never watched, Fennick, I've never watched a Fast and Furious movie. I'll tell you who's fast, but he's not furious. It's Sterling. Oh, he might be furious with that pass. He might be. Wasn't great. Chelsea, I think it's... correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea fans. This is the story of your life, really. Build-up play, absolutely fine. Final ball, quality in the box. Predator instinct, not there. I'm not really a fan of action films. I like the Bourne Identity films or the Bourne trilogies, whatever. But and I don't mind James Bond, but I'm not anything that's got Jason Statham in it. I'm out. I'm gonna go and have a bath. I tell you what, I loved last Saturday, and I don't know whether they've put the next one on today. It was about. It can't have been last Saturday. Who did United play last Saturday? Oh, they played 8 o'clock, didn't they? Last Saturday, yeah. What I didn't do a watch along last Saturday at 3 o'clock because it was Man City Brighton, and I didn't do it. I put ITV on, and at 4 o'clock they had Harry Potter starting, and I was like, autumn. It's just starting to get dark outside. Cup of tea in the hand. I love it. I love that sort of thing. Saturday afternoon film, if you can watch one's good, but there's always football on. I've seen Breaking Bad, yeah. Highly recommend Skate. Scorsese is the kind of comedy, says Surfers of the World Unit. Wow, Chelsea just got to try and score a goal here. Has anyone seen that? It just got me thinking there. That's what I was looking for. I saw it advertised a while ago. Reptile. Doesn't look like it's that good actually. You can watch it on Netflix. It's called Reptile. It's got Benicio del Toro, Justin Timberlake, Michael Pitt, Alicia Silverstone. I was going to watch it, but I don't know where it's that good. Add an Osman or Martinez to this Chelsea side. Jack, I think you've got it right with your first one. You add a Victor Osman to this Chelsea side, which I'm very surprised they didn't do. I think it makes a huge difference. Stanley, Heath Ledger, Irfan Khan, too many lost, says Exidra. And have you seen Oppenheimer? It's amazing. One of the best movies to come out in years. I did HPN. I'll probably watch it again when it comes out again. It's a quite a long, fast-paced film to watch in a cinema, but I would like to. Yeah, a lot of people say it's crap. I won't watch it. Cross comes in. Madueke blocked. Lee Berman says, do you have an air fryer? No. Everybody's got a bloody air fryer. I probably should get an air fryer. Nord is a Chelsea fan. He wants Ivan Toney. Can you do a poll, Sir Bosley or Madison? I'll do a poll if everyone in the live chat clicks the pinned podcast and downloads it. That's fair, isn't it? I'll start doing polls if everyone supports the podcast. You don't have to listen to it now. You can just download it. Then listen to it later. And then I'll start doing some. Snaps has got a tumble dryer. I've got a tumble dryer. I haven't got an air fryer. What do you think about this game so far? I mean, I don't. Brentford are difficult to watch. Thomas Frank gets a lot of credit, and he does deserve it. He does deserve it, but they are hard to watch. They don't create many chances. Air fryers are a game changer, says Lewis. I tell you what, forget air fryers and talk about frying pans. Guess what I had before I started this? Can't beat it on a Saturday. Bacon sandwich, ketchup, mic drop. Unless you're a vegetarian or you're not allowed to eat pork, in which case it's probably very repulsive and offensive. But to those of us who can, bacon sandwich on a Saturday morning, or takes me back to being a kid. Be sat there watching going live with Philip Schofield and oh shit, I've just given away the third one. If you know, you know. Oh, that was it. I was on about this the other night. I never liked Michael Jackson. I never liked Jimmy Savile as a kid, and anyway, I'd be watching Going Live, and I must have had a bit of a radar, but you'd be watching Going Live, and it was always a few minutes before Football Focus, because Football Focus had come on about 12:10. Here we go, Brentford. What a twat! Why don't you shoot? Why don't you shoot? Brentford there, really hickey. Cross comes into him. It's difficult, but he tries to control it. He should have fucking shot. But look at this. The cross comes in. You've got to hit that on the volley. Bang. Why does he take a touch? And then the mother would come in and go, do you want a bacon sandwich? I'd go, does a bear shit in the woods? She'd go, you're grounded. Why? Because I don't like that language. But they do shit in the woods, and I do want a sandwich. But yeah, I used to love it. I have evolved. I used to hate ketchup on a bacon sandwich. Here's a poll for you. Obviously, I'm not doing this to offend vegetarians or people who can't eat pork, but on a bacon sandwich, you can substitute it for a piece of lettuce or chicken if you want, but we're doing bacon. Ketchup, brown sauce. What would you go with? I always used to have brown sauce, and I would never have a bacon sandwich without brown sauce. But now, these days, it's got to be red. You can get veggie bacon, Mark. Yeah, but you can get vibrators. They're not as good as the real thing. Are you going to stream the Fury fight tonight? Says Jake. What time is it? Swan likes lettuce sandwiches. I used to like on the down reel. I used to like salad cream sandwiches. Literally, slice of white bread, squirt salad cream in it. That's me done. The fight doesn't start till 6. I think the fight's not going to start till about 11:30, is it? Honestly, I don't think I'm going to do it, because after the Misfits stuff a couple of weeks ago, I think life's too short. I don't get it. It's a bit, you know what? It's a bit. I may as well watch Rocky 3. You know, in Rocky 3 where Rocky has a fight with Hulk Hogan. I feel that there's just no reality in this Fury fight. He's fighting a guy that is limited to doing something that Fury's the best in the world at. And actually, if he could do what he could do, he'd beat Fury. So I just find it. I don't really get the angle on this. In a boxing fight, Fury's the best fighter in the world, so he's going to win. In a cage, the other guy's going to win. So I don't. For me, it doesn't. Respect to those who are going to watch it, but for me, it just doesn't. It doesn't motivate me. It's like watching Manchester City play the Dallas Cowboys at football. Like the Dallas Cowboys would batter them at American football, but they're going to lose at football. It's an exhibition, isn't it? And I get that, but for me, it's not interesting. How don't you like Michael Jackson, says Rayan? I just never liked his music. Never liked his music. Apparently, Man City's team for tomorrow has already been leaked. Do you want me to tell you it? Do you want me to tell you the new Man City team for tomorrow? Look, Michael Jackson's a bit like the Beatles. And I'm not saying the Beatles ever did anything like Michael Jackson was accused of doing. I'm talking about music. Rest in peace to the Beatles. They're all long gone now. I've just realised they're not. 50% of them are alive. Ringo and Paul. So this is apparently the Man City team for tomorrow. Edison, Walker, Stones, Diaz, Vardiel, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Foden, Grealish, Alvarez and Haaland. I mean, they're gonna have a lot of possession with that team. Bernardo, Foden, Grealish, Alvarez, Rodri in their midfield with Haaland up front. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Branston on the butty, says Beryl. That sounds sexual, Beryl. I hope it's not Richard. Yeah, that's a good Man City team, to be fair. Look, I know they're going to dominate possession tomorrow. I think if Man United are going to win that game, they're going to have to do it on the break. Ben says the Beatles are trash. They're not a bad band, the Beatles, but it's half time here. The Beatles are not a bad band, but they're not really my cup of tea. It's all the same. It's all shake your head, play the guitar. Baby, you can drive my car. La 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 la. I mean, to me, they're a bit like the Lightning Seeds with more songs. You know. But look, they're very, very successful. And as somebody who does content, deal with it if people don't like it. I don't have to like it. There'll be people going mad. But, half-time 0-0. Let's have a quick look at the poll here because I'm not the poll. We'll come back to the poll. I want to have a look at the match stats because it makes for interesting reading. But before we do that, let's also take a look at something I like to call the Premier League table as it stands. And there it is. As it stands at the moment, Chelsea would be in 10th place with most of everybody above them still to play. It is imperative that Chelsea win this game. And even if Chelsea win this game, they only go level with Manchester United on 15. But they cannot afford to not win today, Chelsea. Their season is just... You know, the gap, it reminds me of my EAFC career. I just cannot get away from mid-table. Chelsea got to find a way of winning this game, however they do it. And I think that, in fairness to them, it's not that they're not pushing. I mean, they've had 67% possession. They've had 10 shots to Brentford's 2, but they've only had 2 on target from 10. You know, they've had 90% pass accuracy. That's excellence. But they're not doing enough with it. And there are echoes of Manchester United, but to be fair to Chelsea, I think they've got more rhythm than Manchester United. They've got more of patterns than Manchester United at the moment. But what they don't have is the ability to to score. Parser says that AAFC series is so good. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, mate. For me, it's just very frustrating. I just can't get into a rhythm. But let me just tell you this. On a bacon sandwich, 65% of you would go with ketchup and 34% of you, 65% of you would go with ketchup and 34% of you would go with brown sauce. So ketchup wins that. I'm now going to do the poll I was asked to do. It's either or, and it's topical, and it's about James Maddison, and it's about a player that I probably can't spell his name. I think I've done it. It's Maddison or Sabosley. Get in there. Get in there. What's brown sauce? I don't know whether you can get it outside the UK. It used to be called HP sauce. I think it still is. I don't know what they call it in Tesco and Sainsbury's because they do sell their own brands. But it used to be red and brown sauce in my house. Yeah. Maddison or Sabosley, get involved. Who do you think... When are Madrid playing Barcelona, Ronaldo? Let me have a quick look. So I was going to say that, looking at the weekend ahead, it's quite challenging for me to do another watch-along this weekend because I've got to do my Talk Sport show at 7:30. And I wasn't going to do Wolves Newcastle anyway. I think I'm going to go out for an Indian or something like that and have a couple of pints with the family and then come back and do Talk Sport at 7:30. A couple of pints of lemonade, of course. I would never drink and do radio. Irresponsible that would be. Arsenal, Sheffield United at 3:00, get in the bin. Not interested in that. So, and on Sunday, the problem I've got on Sunday is every other game I would do would clash with Manchester United, Man City. So I'm sort of stuck doing Chelsea, Brentford and Man United, Man City, obviously on the United stand tomorrow. But I'll do a few match reactions if anything happens. There's no Monday night football as well. We've got Carabao Cup on, the Tuesday night games are shit. Exeter, Middlesbrough and Mansfield, Port Vale. So, yeah, we're not doing anything on Tuesday. Wednesday, there are some good Carabao Cup games. Man United doesn't kick off till quarter past 8 against Newcastle, by the way. But Chelsea play Blackburn, Everton play Burnley, Ipswich play Fulham, Bournemouth play Liverpool, and West Ham are playing Arsenal. Next weekend, we've got no Friday nights. Man United, Fulham are the 12:30 game. Newcastle, Arsenal is the 5:30 game. And you've then got Sunday, Luton, Liverpool and Forest Villa. The games have gone a bit shit recently, but Monday night football, a week on Monday is good. You've got Tottenham, Chelsea, which I think will be good. But the Sunday games are crap. Saturday's pretty decent. I say it's pretty decent. Newcastle Arsenal's good. I'll try and find a way to do that. I'll try and find a way. But Maddison's got 65% of the vote and Sabosley's got 35%, which I think is fair. I think it's fair. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. You can do that through the $sign. Mester says, do you think Rooney will come good as a manager eventually, or is he not management material? I can see why Birmingham have given him the job. I can see that. It makes sense to me. But, you know, you've asked the best question. Is he a coach? Is he a coach? Someone just said, why are we putting sauce on a bacon sandwich? Just butter. So I tell you what, mate. You know what? Sometimes on a morning, for me, cup of tea, slice of white, bit of butter, elite. White bread, bit of butter, cup of tea, banging. Sometimes you don't want a bit of jam. If I'm putting jam on, it's marmalade or apricot. Don't like any of the red stuff. Can't be doing with strawberry jam, blackcurrant jam, raspberry jam. It's apricot or marmalade for me. There we go. Justice jam on toast, says Koala. Can Chelsea win this game, Mark? They have to. They absolutely have to. They find themselves in this situation where they need to be winning. But look, whether you're interested or not, there is a strong leak coming out of... I've never understood how that's possible, by the way. I'm trying to say it in a way that's not obvious. Squirt. Yeah, I've never understood how that's possible. Surely it's piss. Surely it's piss. And if offered it, I wouldn't go anywhere near it. If they wanted to bring that into part of it, I'd say don't bother. For me, that's just water sports, and I'm not interested. Anyway, Manchester City are playing tomorrow, and apparently their starting lineup is Ederson, Walker, Stones, Diaz, Vardiel, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Foden, Grealish, Alvarez, and Haaland. That's a team to keep possession from from Pep. I thought he might have played Doku, but Doku's a bit more direct, isn't he? I think he's going possession, first half. Jake says, I'd love to see you and Will do an interview podcast. Players, director of football, anyone who's been involved in the game, get their insight. It would be interesting. Wonder if anyone would actually speak, though. Yeah, well, this is the problem, Jake. A lot of them are terrified of doing anything. And they hide behind the whole, he doesn't know what he's on about. But they're actually scared. Like, I had this conversation about somebody the other day. And I said, come on, then, we work for the same organisation. Let's do a video. Let's go on the radio and do it. No, they won't do it. So basically, they're just a mouthpiece. Scared. I need to know, can you love me again, says Sel? And does Chelsea know how to score, says Hansi? I think Chelsea win this game. I do think they'll win it. I think they have to win it. I think they will win it. They might need a penalty. Liverpool fans want a replay on the poll. Well, I'm closing that one down. That's over. But I have got a few others. I saw them today that I didn't use on the podcast. Here's one for you. Either or. This is a Goldbridge one. Pep versus Ancelotti. Do you have a favourite energy drink, says Skel? Well, whoever wants to sponsor me, really. Sneak was very, very good, but we've ended the association with them. Basically, open to options. All I can say is I've tried them all, and I feel that I might be leaning towards one, but let's wait and see who gets in contact. English mustard on beef is very nice, marching, but I'm going to give you the biscuit here. The best thing is horseradish. What a sauce. Horseradish sauce with beef is a delight. An absolute delight. I think Ancelotti is better than Pep. I think he's done it at more clubs in more difficult circumstances with less open checkbooks. But I'm not surprised people went with that. I'll tell you what, that Madueke chance was unlucky. You know, he's not done a lot wrong there. Yeah, Cucurella should have scored as well. Horseradish sauce is lovely. It's tangy but strong. Put it on your beef. Put it on your beef. Both are quite unlikely, but down the line, would you prefer seeing Ronaldo as United's owner or Rooney as United's manager if he comes? Paraz, I would go with Ronaldo as the owner, because if you look at his career, he's a winner. And if he was involved with Man United, can you imagine I think Ronaldo will do it. I think Beckham's very intelligent, what he's done, getting in first, owning into Miami. And I think Cristiano Ronaldo and the team around him are very brand aware. And I think Cristiano Ronaldo will definitely own a football club in the future. Where it will be, maybe it will be Saudi, maybe it'll be America, maybe it will be in Portugal, maybe it'll be something bigger. But yeah, I definitely think Ronaldo will own a football club. And if you think about that, if Ronaldo owns a football club and puts himself in position as the president or something like that, that football club is... I mean, look, I think Ronaldo, the player, has fans that follow him. But it's a little bit more difficult, isn't it? Because if you're a Chelsea fan or a Liverpool fan and you like Ronaldo and he goes and plays for Man United, it's more difficult for you to become a Man United fan unless you're an absolute flip-flop. However, if you like Ronaldo and he buys a football club, that's a little bit different, isn't it? You know, you can, and I think it would be massive. If he hasn't thought of it, play him that clip, but I'm sure he has. If Man United had to move temporary for a stadium renovation, where do you hope they would go? London teams have Wembley, but no neutral up north, says Rice and Peas. I mean, I think ideally you'd use the Etihad, wouldn't you? But I can't see how that works with a direct rival. And as you say, there's not really anything around. John says, do you still think Spurs won't finish in the top 8? John, I own that. I don't care about that. I really don't care that. I know what I said. I said Spurs won't finish in the top 8. It was a prediction. And it was a prediction on Spurs in the last few years. I don't think anybody saw this coming. So me saying they wouldn't finish in the top 8, yeah, you can ridicule, you can laugh it. It's fine. I don't care. I'm glad Spurs have done what they've done. It's always nice and good for football when you get a shock like this, and they thoroughly deserve what they're doing. But yeah, I didn't expect it. And that's what I love about football, is that if I could predict everything, it'd be bloody boring. You know, predicting Man City are going to win the league is easy. Predicting Spurs aren't going to finish in the top 8, to me, was logical. To be wrong about that is exciting. But we are only in October. That league table, if we go back to it, with the magic of technology, you know, when you think about it, Spurs have got 26 points. You need 70 to get top 4. So they've still got another 44 points to get. And they're only, well, if Man United were to win tomorrow, it would be even less. But they're only 11 points ahead of 8th. I don't think they're going to finish outside the top 8th. Honestly, that would be very, very surprising. But it's not beyond the realms of possibility. And you know, I think people want to rewrite their pre-season predictions in October. And I would say sometimes, you know, I predicted Roy Hodgson would be the first manager to get sacked. Everyone laughed at me. And no Premier League manager's been sacked yet. I'm not saying Roy Hodgson's going to get sacked, but what I'm saying is I'm not wrong until somebody does get sacked. I mean, Crystal Palace are doing okay. They're mid-table. He's not going to get the sack. Absolutely not. But nobody's been sacked yet, so I'm not going to change my mind on that. I do think it's quite incredible, actually, that there hasn't been any Premier League sackings yet. Good in a way, but we normally would have had 1 or 2 by now. So I think that just shows you the competitive nature of the Premier League at the moment. I'd be remiss of me not to draw your attention to something as well. Talking about Chelsea, what are your thoughts on this Christmas Eve fixture? I'm just going to type it in now and get it for you. I would be gutted about this if I was a Chelsea fan or a Wolves fan. I think it's bang out of order. Interested to see what you know, actually. Not what you know. Interested to see what your thoughts are on this. Get your chats in as well. Pep's won by 67%, so we'll end that. Christmas Eve football, yes or no? Just going to do that. Christmas Eve football, yes or no? Get your votes in. So basically what's going to happen at Christmas is, I've got a couple of questions for you as well. But at Christmas time, Christmas Day is Christmas 25th of December. 24th is Christmas Eve, I believe the best day of the year, of the Christmas period. Everyone's playing on Saturday the 23rd. So Man United, we're playing at 12:30. So basically get that out the way. I get on the booze a little bit earlier. Happy days. Actually, I won't do, because I'll do Liverpool-Arsenal at 5:30 on Saturday the 23rd. But, you know, that should be it. But then on Sunday the 24th, which is Christmas Eve, traditionally for a lot of people, church, pub, late shopping, family visits, that's what it's all about. Not if you're a Chelsea Wolves fan. 1 o'clock kickoff on Saturday the 24th of December. It's not at Chelsea. It's in Wolverhampton. So Chelsea are away to Wolves at 1 o'clock on Christmas Eve. That drive from Wolverhampton to London is 2 hours on a good run. On Christmas Eve, that's taking you 3. So the game don't finish till 3. Chelsea fans, if you're coming from London, you're not getting home till 7:30, 8 o'clock. I think it's shocking, really. I think it's absolutely shocking. And I'm just very, very glad that Man United aren't playing on that day. But yeah, it's shit. But a lot of people saying yes and no. And look, I suppose for some people, watching a game on Christmas Eve on the TV or whatever probably seems okay because we've got a bit 50-50 there. I never like playing on New Year's Day as well, which is fine. We're not playing New Year's Day. Man United are playing on the 30th, so I'm quite happy about that. I don't think we're playing on New Year's Day. Liverpool are playing on New Year's Day. Yeah, Man United aren't playing. We're not playing at all. We're playing on the 30th, which suits me fine. Absolutely fine. What I was going to ask as well is, I don't know whether anyone's got the answer to this. I've got no idea what's going on here. This has been bothering me, right? Why? And I'm going to tweet this as well, but you're going to get the first chat. Why are there no Prem games on Saturday the 8th of December? What's happening on Saturday the 8th of December? But teams play on Boxing Day. I don't get the differences, Ben. Oh, mate, I'll tell you the difference between Boxing Day and Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, it's anticipation, it's excitement, it's a buzz. Boxing Day, get me anywhere, get me out. You know, I've had 2 days of being at home, doing nothing, eating, you know, listening to people I don't normally spend the year with. Boxing Day, completely agree with football on Boxing Day. We're ready for it. But, yeah. Oh, I've absolutely messed that up. I've messed up. Sorry, I need to delete the tweet. Why did I tweet it? I thought it was the 8th. It's the 9th. There are games on the 9th. I'm an idiot. I'd looked at the fixtures and I thought I'd read it wrong. There are games on the 9th. There are games on the 9th. I was going to say I read it and I was like, why is there no games on Saturday the 8th? Idiot. Delete, delete, delete. Anyway, we're up and running here. Not done the timer. That's not right. Don't want that one. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do it. Chelsea need to get a win here. Where are we? Where are we? We're in London, aren't we? We're in London. That's where we are. 46 and 33. There we go. What do you think about this, Jackson? Yeah, not good. I'm really surprised here. We've had 3,500 votes. Christmas Eve football, yes or no? 50% have said yes. Pray tell me why you want Christmas Eve football. Could be religious, yes. Forgot about that. Christmas Eve is obviously not that important if it's not your religion. Respect. Nothing on TV, says Ghostbusters. Mate, if you can't find something to watch on Christmas Eve, you're not a fan of Christmas. I never get to watch all the stuff I want to watch at Christmas. And you can't watch it on Boxing Day. You know, there's so many Christmas specials. Only Fools and Horses, Gavin and Stacey, Father Ted. You know, there's so many Christmas films. Die Hard 2, Home Alone 2, Polar Express. You can't move for stuff to watch on Christmas Eve, but you can't watch that shit on Boxing Day because it's over. I remember watching the Polar Express on the 28th of December for the first time. I've never been so depressed in all my life. You know, you can't watch a Christmassy film after Christmas. Thanks, Yannick. Officials, well, Poch said this. Official says, in a lot of communities, Christmas Eve is more important than Christmas Day. That's what Poch said. He said that Christmas Eve is actually more important to Argentinians. So, yeah, it's a bit of a piss take. I don't agree with it. I think it's a real piss take. But money talks. Money talks. Will you be doing a watch-along for it? Absolutely not. I can tell you straight away, I will not be doing Wolves-Chelsea watch-along on Christmas Eve. And if I did, it would be me with Quality Street here, my speciality Christmas Eve dinner that I make for everybody, and Christmas ale, mulled wine. It would be a piss up. Don't want Christmas Eve footballers. I don't want football. I'm too busy to watch, says Spencer. And Johnny, thank you very much for your super chat there. Some people don't like Christmas, by the way. I get it. I had a lonely Christmas once. I just had a big bath. Go! What a save! Bloody hell! Brentford should have been in front. They should have been in front. The cut back and it was straight at Sanchez. It should have been 1-0. Breakfast food v dessert if you had to give one up. I'd probably give up dessert these days, Botherer. It's a good save, but I think it's from that distance he's got to score. I mean, he's walking onto it. It's a good power shot. Bottom corner, they're not savable. Should have scored. Man United are playing Villa on Boxing Day at 8 o'clock, says Morgan. You see, I'll look forward to that. Boxing Day TV is shit. I'll look forward to that, Boxing Day. And it's a reason to get rid of the family, isn't it? Or get out of the family. You know, Boxing Day, preferably get invited round to some family for something to eat so they pay for it. And then gets to about 5 o'clock and I've got to go because I've got to work. It's perfect. Here's this chance for Brentford. Cross comes in. He's on. Side. Cut back. Straight at the keeper. Yeah, straight at the keeper. It's a shame. Well, it's a shame for Brentford. Both teams have had chances, though. There's no escaping that. Janelt with the shot. Rice and Peas. Oh, we've done that one, haven't we? Chelsea on the attack now. Sweden the 24th is Christmas Day. Unfair on to us, says Richard Spencer. Lego building, watch along. Excuse me. I tell you what I did build yesterday. I'll show you this. Me and Seb found this and I said Seb should build it and he couldn't really do it. So I did it. And it has got a Christmas theme. Don't even know why we got it, but I quite like it. Look, A Christmas Carol, and it's a book, but inside it's I think it's Tiny Tim and Bob Cratchit. But on the other hand, it could be Dan James and Phil Jones. I don't know. And then you've got Scrooge outside in the snow. I don't know why, but it opens up. Yeah, there's a drawer in it. I do like building Lego. So we're just gonna use it as a little Christmas ornament, little Christmas scene. I like building Lego, but it's when you've built it, what do you do with it? The Home Alone one's very good, Fennick, yeah. Here's Sterling. Deflection. Keeper gets hold of that, surely. No, he doesn't. Brentford defending well. That's not Scrooge, it's Gary Neville. You could see him playing Scrooge, couldn't you? No, I'm not doing a video with Goldbridge. I'm not doing it. I don't like him. I've never met him, but I don't like him. The drawer is Spurs trophy cabinet, says Farouk, because it's empty. Lewis says, I like Lego, got nowhere to put it. We've got bloody loads. Simpsons Lego sets were class and they're worth a lot now, says Lee. I liked the Quickie Mart, yeah. I like a lot of the Star Wars stuff as well, but like you say, you build it. I love building it, and then what can you do with it? Like, I like some of the, you know, like they had the James Bond car, like some of the really specialist stuff that takes you ages to build, and at least you can use it as a model. Anyway, Chelsea coming forward. Cucurella. You know, I look at Chelsea, I see the shape, I see the patterns, and you can see what Pochettino's all about. But unlike Pochettino with PSG, where he's got Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi, or unlike Pochettino when he's got Harry Kane and Son, at Chelsea he just hasn't got the goals, and any manager's going to struggle with that. You know, Pep Guardiola, with the team he's got, but not having Haaland and all that lot, you know, it makes it difficult. Sterling's done well here, and they just haven't got goal scorers. Cucurella's injured himself here. There is an Old Trafford Stadium. I've got it, Koala. I don't know where it is. I think it might be at the studio, but I have got it. I made a Lego animation of you, Mark. Can I send it on Twitter? Says CW. If you tell us what your Twitter is, we'll all have a look at it. Yeah. The Lego Titanic is unreal. Says Gurr. Tell you what, you know what I told you the other day about I was in goal against Ben Foster and the first save nearly broke my fingers. They're not bruised anymore, and I can bend them, but they still really... There's no bruising, and they're not broken, but they're still like quite painful. Has anyone ever had that before? Fuzzy felts were pointless, says Lee. They were, but I used to really like them, but they were shit. They're very good marketing because they were rubbish. Harrison says, Lego's boring, video collect games are clear. Yeah, but don't you find at Christmas now, when I was a kid at Christmas, like, you'd have a sack full of presents and the big ones that couldn't get in. And I wasn't like, I wasn't wealthy, I was from a working class background, but you know, you used to have these presents that were physical and you were like, I wonder what's in it. Nowadays, what can you buy that's physical, that's not clothes? You know, games can be bought online, music can be bought online, films can be bought online. At least with a box of Lego, it's physical. Did you see Palace's goal last night? Seemed a clear handball to me. VAR shockers never stop. Says Spencer. Yeah, well, you know my opinion on that. Would Haaland score same amount of goals playing for Chelsea? Says Pete. I think if you put Haaland in this side, Chelsea would start scoring goals. Yeah, I genuinely think. And look, I'm no fan of Chelsea. But I genuinely think that Chelsea's problem is confidence in the final third. And I think if you put the right striker into the final third, everything changes. The movement, the confidence, and then the players around feed off that confidence. It's hard being in a team. It's hard being Caicedo or Conor Gallagher or Raheem Sterling in this team, knowing that you're not scoring goals. The pressure builds on you as well, and it impacts on all of them. How many goals would you score if you were Man City striker, says Les? I think if you gave me a month to get fit, I reckon in that Man City side, I would score over 5. And people will laugh, but realistically, all you got to do is... Oh my God, Brentford have scored! They've scored a goal! I can't believe it! It's 1-0 to Brentford. 1-0. It's not a drill. It's happened again. It happened at Old Trafford. It's happening at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea fans can't believe it. We were literally talking about this inability to score goals, and Brentford have scored. They've literally hung it up on the back post. Cole Palmer looks... Well, he looks like that normally. It's hard to tell what his emotion is. But it's lovely play by Brentford. It's pinged up to the back post. And, well, you've got to say, where's Disasi on this? I don't rate Disasi at all. And I've got to question where he is. I don't even know where he is. Nowhere. That's not on Thiago Silva. And Bumo with the cross, if you're interested. If you want the assist points. Chelsea letting themselves down there. Pochettino. Oh, don't worry. They won't put any pressure on him. He's not bold. And he's not called Eric. Chelsea can still come back here. Raheem Sterling. No, not like that. Chelsea got to up their game now. Yeah, I don't know what Chelsea fans think about Disasi, but I just don't see it. There's a long way for Chelsea to get back into this. There's half an hour. I sometimes think, I mean, look at Brentford at Old Trafford. They were winning 1-0 going into the 92nd minute and they still lost. So, you know, I feel that Brentford might be on the end of another one, but Chelsea making hard work of this. But yeah, going back to what we were talking about before the goal, I think Chelsea, you can see the system. They don't actually concede that many, really. I know they've just conceded, but they don't concede that many. They weren't conceding that many under Potter and Tuchel either. They don't concede many, but they don't score. And I think that really to spend £1 billion and not spend any of that money on a world-class striker is ridiculous, no matter who you're in control of. Playing league football on Christmas Day stopped being played in England in 1965, says Ronald. Toot. Is there any EPL team you have a soft spot for, says Ben. No, not really. Where's Enzo and Mudryk, says no VAR. I don't know. Any Chelsea fans want to let us know? I don't know. I mean, Enzo would normally play, so I presume he's injured. What does Madueke actually do, says Tudor? Well, I don't really. I mean, I know who Madueke is. I think we all know who Madueke is. But I've got to say, I was surprised when Chelsea bought him. The volume of players they bought in that position. Is incredible. Enzo and Mudryk are injured, says Riley. I can see a lot of people in the chat saying Chelsea paid £100 million for Casido, and I get it. It's banter and it's an easy target, but they're losing 1-0 to Brentford. It's not because of Casido, and Casido's not at fault for the goal, and it's not his job to score. Like, Chelsea could be winning this game 3-0 from the chances that they've had. And then Casido's having a good game, isn't he? So this is the problem with Chelsea is not Casido. The problem with Chelsea is scoring goals. And, you know, the confidence in that front three is incredible. Incredibly bad. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. That? I don't think Brentford will hold on. I don't think they'll hold on. But it certainly made the game interesting. I mean, Chelsea, look at that league table. That's not even accurate. That's not right. Chelsea haven't got that amount of points. I don't think they have. I think that's not been updated. Let's get the stats carousel going round. Remember, we're sponsored by OneFootball on the stats carousel. If you want to get individual player stats, let us know. Brentford messing around with the ball at the back here. Defender does well to turn it around. Links in the video description, or scan the QR code. All your latest breaking football scores, transfer news, stats on OneFootball for free. Give it a download. But is that league table up to speed? I don't think it is. I think Chelsea are on 12. Yeah, Chelsea are currently on 12 points. 8 points off fourth before everybody plays. That is shocking. Absolutely shocking. Chelsea bought multiple wingers and what they needed was a potent striker, says Nigel. How did they not see that? I've been saying this for a while. I mean, I could do a tweet on it now. Like, $1 billion spent and you don't buy a striker. Watch this. This will bang on Twitter. And Nkunku. Oh, you know, if I hear somebody say Nkunku again, one, do your research on Nkunku. He's not a striker. And two, since you know you've never seen him wear a Chelsea shirt. If you're resting your whole future on Nkunku, then you've not done your own work. You're putting a hell of a lot of pressure on him. He's good. He's good. I like Nkunku. I think Liverpool fans would like him. Arsenal. I'd certainly want him at United. He's a really good player in Nkunku, but he's not a natural striker, and you've never seen him play for Chelsea. So you can't put your whole season being like this on the fact that Nkunku got injured. You really, really can't. What you put your season on is how Todd Boehly spends £1 billion in 12 months and doesn't go and buy Victor Osimhen, who you could have got for 130 million. If you'd gone to Napoli and said, there's 130 million, they'd have gone, thank you very much. That's all they needed to do. You weren't going to get Harry Kane. Harry Kane would have been brilliant. You weren't going to get Harry Kane. Spurs would not have done a deal. But if you'd gone to Napoli and said, there's 130 million quid, they'd have said, thank you very much. And they could have done that. They chose to spend it in other areas. And that's the problem with Chelsea. And every Chelsea fan knows it. They've got a really good team. They don't play bad football. But they haven't got... They're a triangle that's got no points. You know, defensively, I think they're quite good. You know, the midfield's good. And it comes to this point at the top where it's the most important thing and it's blunt. Strangle my hope and make me pray to a God I've never seen, but who I betray. Acceleration. Acceleratron. I'll read that out because that's the best comment of the day. Lyrics. Absolutely brilliant. Nice seeing you in a Chris MD video, says Cameron. Mate, I think I should have made top 10. The video, the camera angle does not do justice. I think I should have made it. Did you see, I think the keeper made the best save from me as well. Did you see the one where he tipped it up onto the bar? I think it's 11 minutes and 30 seconds in for me. I scored, I did score a good one anyway, but I hit one as well where he palmed it up onto the bar. Good save. Good save. Fair play. Anyway, it was a good video. Nice to be involved. Are Chelsea playing well, says Asher. You know what? If you're a Chelsea fan, you're getting angry. I get it. And I'm sure we'll get a few Chelsea fans calling in tonight on TalkSport if they lose. But ultimately, they haven't played bad. They just don't have a cutting edge. All right.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Watching some football.
You know, why don't you go on your iPad and play different games than Roblox? Because there are different games, aren't there? What?
Not different games.
We'll bring it in here and I'll set it up. You can. I bet you do. You didn't think Sainsbury's was going to be good for pumpkins, but it was. No wonder Harry Maguire's your favourite player. You've got the same attitude. Won't play anything else unless it's Roblox. Took him down to Sainsbury's today to get pumpkins, and he was moaning because he thought we were going where we went last year, which is where you go and pick pumpkins from a field, which is a big marketing gimmick and a big waste of time. So you go to this place to pick your pumpkins. Basically, it's a farm. Loads of people go, but the pumpkins are in a field where a tractor has basically put a load of pumpkins on grass. You don't pick them. I said, if we go to Sainsbury's, we can just take it out of a box, and then we can get some chocolates, which they won't sell there. I had Jackson down to score. I'm an idiot. Still time. Pinnock scored for Brentford, who, Pinnock played brilliantly at Old Trafford against United. Leon says, will Chelsea play Europa League football next season? You know what, mate? The way it's going for Chelsea, they will not be playing Champions League football next year. Like they're not even in the top 10. They've gone. They're on page 2. That's terrible. After 10 games to be on page 2. They won't be playing Champions League football next year. I think they'll turn it around at some point, but it's already too late for Champions League football. Samuel says they won't even be in Europe, Mark. Well, you never know with that, but 2 shots on target from 68% possession. They've not had a shot on target in the second half. We've been playing for 25 minutes in the second half. They've not had a shot on target yet. Football's so simple. Ex-players, I've played the game. You've played a very simple game. You can tell us what it's like in the dressing room, what you used to get up in the showers and on the bus and all that. But you can't tell football fans secrets about the game of football that we all sit and watch. It's there. We get all the angles. We see all the movement. Football is very, very simple. That's why people like Tony Pulis, Sam Allardyce made a career out of it. I know players who've played for those managers and said, basically, all week in training, very little. Saturday afternoon, gladiator speech before the game. Motivators, football's a simple game. Football's a very simple game. And Chelsea's problems have been the same problem for coming up for a year. They haven't got a guy up front to score goals, to inspire and reinvigorate the whole team. They've got good players. Palmer's good. Thiago Silva's class. Enzo Fernandez has been good. I know he's not playing today. I think Casido's a good player. Gallagher's doing well. They've got good players, but none of them are confident because they haven't got the guy that does the job. Thiago Silva, Colwell, they're doing their job. Everyone's doing their job, but the front 3 aren't doing their job. And then it feeds and infects the whole team. I see it with United all the time. United lose a game 1-0, and you'll see people like Varane getting a 5 out of 10. Even though they've had a good game. United win a game 1-0 and Varane's done nothing, people give him a 7. It's like there's a lot of players in that Chelsea team that haven't had bad games. But ultimately the result at the moment is bad, and there are areas of the team that are responsibilities of different people. The defence is there in the main to stop the opposition from scoring. The attack is there to score the goals to win you the game. And Chelsea just haven't got that. And I find it incredible that they spent £1 billion and didn't buy it. I'd have bought 2. I'd have bought 2. But to buy all these players and not buy a world-class striker, I find it incredible. I really do. It doesn't make any sense. It's like building a mansion and not putting a roof on it and then moaning when it rains. Oh, you've got a swimming pool, you've got a cinema room, look at the furniture you've got. I've got a couple of Ferraris on the drive, in the garage. Oh, look at my bedroom, it's wet through. There's no roof on this. And they've spent so much money. I still think they'll get back into it, but they shouldn't have to be working this hard against Brentford at home, and they shouldn't be in a position where they've only had 2 shots on target in 75 minutes. But I think Chelsea will do it because this happened with United. We were 1-0 down in the 90th minute and we still won. So I still think Chelsea will do it, but it's hard work. There's talk that Odegaard's not starting for Arsenal. I will confirm that for you. Team news is coming in. He is not starting. Raya in goal. Ben White, Saliba, Kuior, Zinchenko, Smith Rowe, Rice and Havertz, Saka, Nketiah and Martinelli. Odegaard on the bench. Gabriel on the bench. Home to Sheffield United. Bit of rotation from Arteta. You've got to rotate at some point. And Sheffield United at home is obviously a game that he feels confident he can do that. So, I mean, Havertz is the problem at that club. I don't understand that signing. I really don't. A double substitution for Brentford here. Morpay coming on. Still 15 minutes of normal time to go. Still time here for Chelsea. Plenty of time. Is anyone here prepared to say just what they mean, or is it too late for anyone here to try to do just what it takes to get through to you? Let's all make believe that we're still friends and we like each other. Well, I saw a comment in the chat there. What would it mean to Chelsea if they lost? Well, I don't think I've lost my live chat. Who's best, Nketiah, Jackson or Højlund? Says Carlos. Højlund. Højlund's better out of them three. I'll do a poll on the other two. I don't actually know. I think this could be a really good either or. Actually, you've just led it into it absolutely brilliantly. Jackson or Nketiah. I don't actually know the answer to that, so you lot can answer it. I really like Brentford style, really organised on defence, says Ben. Letting the chances come to them, not forcing anything. That's the style I like least, at least. And Robbo says, who do you think's been the worst signing out of Havertz or Mount? Bloody hell, that should be a red. Are they going to review that? They're not going to review that. They're not going to review it. I need to have a look at this again. Casemiro got a red for that. I think that is a red. I think it's a red for me. I don't know why they're not reviewing it. Looks like a red. He's dived in. It studs. The inconsistency continues in the Premier League. I'm amazed. Absolutely amazed by that. Absolutely amazed. I've got to put a tweet out. Amazing officiating again. How is Casido not reviewed for a red there? So basically, I don't think they should be red cards. That's my stance. But they do get given. Brentford player moves it out the way. Casido's late. Ends up studs on his shin. Late. Yellow card given. Referee on the pitch don't mind getting it wrong. Why are they not reviewing it on VAR? They reviewed Curtis Jones. They reviewed Casemiro last year. They did Gusto for it. It's the inconsistency is the problem. And... I just despair. Last weekend on the Saturday, we got 3 red handballs. At least there was some consistency. We're never going to get consistency on red cards, are we? Arsenal had it with Kovacic twice. It's a game changer, though, because if he gets sent off there, Brentford win. Every game it's different, says David. Look, I'm not getting into a battle. I don't think it's a red. I don't think Curtis Jones was a red. I don't think Gusto was a red. I don't think that's a red. But my problem is, in a different game... you're going to see a red for that. And it's not our job to argue as fans about whether it's a red or not. People saying it's a red or people saying it's not a red, what are you arguing with? We're intelligent people arguing about what we perceive to be a red or not. However, Pochettino has done exactly what Klopp did last week. Konate should have been sent off, got a yellow, he took him off. Casido should have been sent off, got a yellow, he's took him off. Pochettino knows as well. He's very lucky to be on the pitch, so he's took him off. This is what happens. But the argument is not whether you think it's a red or not. The argument is to look at the facts this season and say, has somebody been sent off for that? Yes. Curtis Jones got a red card for that. It wasn't even as bad. So why is Casido not being sent off? It's not for us to argue about what we think's a red. It's for us to say, why are you not being consistent when Curtis Jones got sent off for it, but you've not done it here? And the handball for Spurs last night, as AJ says, incredible. Ropper's got it. He says, look, it's not about what we think. What we think is irrelevant. If refs are consistent, it's a red card. And that's what I'm talking about. I personally don't think it should be a red card in the world of Goldbridge officiating, but in the world of what we've seen in the Premier League, it's a red. That's what I'm saying. I've got no axe to grind with Chelsea fans who'll say it's definitely not a red because that's just blue tinted glasses. But what I'm saying is, in the world of referees and officiating in the Premier League, that's a red. So why haven't they given it? I don't think Jones was worse because I think he actually kicks the ball and then follows through onto the player. I disagree with that. I don't see how Curtis Jones could be worse when he gets the ball. Casido doesn't get the ball. Anyway, let's do a poll on. Well, Nketiah's beaten Jackson by 70%. Let's do a red card. Casido red or not? Yes or no? Yes or no? Let's go. Thanks everyone for tuning in today. As always, make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. I probably won't be doing another watch along this weekend because everything that's good tomorrow clashes with Man United. And I'm on TalkSport at 7:30 tonight. If you want to watch on YouTube or you want to get some calls in, you're very welcome. It'll be a good show. I'll probably do a few match reactions videos if there's anything to react to. I agree with Arlo, never a red, but it is in recent events. Can Chelsea survive FFP or spend more in future windows without European football again? Or is all their spending going to come back and bite them? I can't answer that question, Kyle. I wish I could, but I can't answer it. I don't know what Chelsea do. I mean, to me, I can solve your problems, Chelsea. I can solve your problems. Go and spend Osman. Go and buy Osman. But I don't know if they have the money to go and do that. Which is why they should have done it. Oh, God. I'm not doing the Fury fight, Lewis. A few people have asked me about that. No disrespect to those who are going to watch it, but I'm not going to watch it because it's an exhibition. I don't get. I don't. For me, if I'm going to watch something, I want to be engaged in it. And Tyson Fury is the best boxer in the world. It's a boxing match. He will win. The other guy, if it wasn't boxing, and it was in a cage, would win. But it's a boxing match. It doesn't. I don't get the point of it, and it's an exhibition. So I've got nothing against people who want to watch it. Fine, but for me, I just don't get the angle. I really don't. It's a bit like Serena Williams playing Djokovic at tennis. In fact, it's not like that, is it? At least it's the same sport. It's a bit like, I'm trying to think of two similar sports that aren't similar. I want to see Fury Usyk. I'll do a bloody watch along for that. I want to see that. That's what I want to see. Somebody said it was going to happen in December. It's not. It's just all talk again, isn't it? Rugby World Cup. Not watching that. It's like badminton versus tennis. I agree. Baseball and cricket. Rugby and football. It's like asking the completely different disciplines. And obviously, it's all beneficial for Fury because he's the boxer. I think the linesman's given in to the crowd there because that Brentford player could have kept that in. It's gone for a corner to Chelsea, but the Brentford player could have kept it in and he wanted the goal kick. Oh, straight across the box. Chelsea nearly scoring from that corner. Kept the ball in. No, they haven't. Luna says, the problem with the consistency argument is that whenever refs make mistakes, which is happening often, they can't repeat the mistakes to be consistent, says Luna. I think that made sense in your head. I actually think if you're consistent, it makes your job easier. I think if you're... Look, I'm not... My issue with this, look, 73% of you are saying that Casido should have got sent off. That's a landslide, right? If I'm a referee, and I'm not, but if I'm a referee, they should be watching more football than me to see what colleagues are doing and what's being given and not. That should be part of their research, yeah? I'm not a referee. If I'd been refereeing this game, this is how incompetent they are, right? I'm not a referee. I don't watch every game in the Premier League. If I see that Casido foul and I'm in the VAR room, I know, me, as many of you know, I know Curtis Jones got a red card for that this season. So if I want to be consistent, it's really easy for me to give a red card. And then if Howard Webb says, why did you give a red card? I go, because Curtis Jones got one, they appealed it, and we kept it as a red. So I know that type of tackle's a red, and that's why I gave it. It's easy to be consistent, and it makes the game better. But they seem to defy logic, and instead of being consistent, they go inconsistent and make the game frustrating. But there'd be no, if Casido got sent off, there'd be zero criticism from any... Some Chelsea fans might moan about it, but the general football fan would go, I don't believe it should be a red card, but it's consistent because Curtis Jones got one. And the thing I find incredible about that is these people are being paid good money to do that job. We're not. We're just football fans, and we know that Curtis Jones got a red card for it. So he should get one. So if we know that, how the bloody hell are the people being paid to do the job not knowing that? And the thing is, they're making their reputation worse because the simplest thing is you've got an excuse. Well, I gave the red because Curtis Jones got one and Gusto got one, so I'm being consistent. You can't get criticised for that. He sent off Chelsea's coach. Chelsea's coach has just been sent off here. Don't know what for. You know what? I love it. Billy Big Bollocks running off to send a coach off. You've already done a fucking stupid mistake, mate. Don't act like... I love these referees who run off and send officials off like they're Billy Big Bollocks. When the rest of the world know you're shit at your job, mate. There's a massive decision you've got wrong. Brentford are on the attack here. They've got a 4v3. It's a great save by Sanchez. 89th minute. Brentford nearly won it. 1-on-1. He's kept them in it. He's kept them in it there. On the break. Brentford could have won it at the end. It's a massive save from Sanchez, that. And to be fair to Brentford, they got everything right. And a goal! They've done it again! Is he offside? What? What's happened there? They've scored. I thought it was in. What went wrong? It was in. Put it in the bottom corner. No goal for what? It didn't go in. It missed. I need to go back. The cross comes in. Lovely play by Morpay. Probably going to miss a Chelsea goal. Oh, yeah. Is it the side netting? Bloody hell. Oh, what a game. I thought Chelsea were back, says Raz. Didn't go in. Didn't go in. 6 minutes added. I tell you what, I still think this is Old Trafford. A few weeks ago, Brentford 1-0 up into stoppage time. They lost 2-1. I can see it happening again, especially based on the chances that Brentford have had. Contact Specsavers, says Anish. Should have gone to Specsavers, says Boyd. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. I mean, I say Chelsea could do a Man United. The thing that Man United had is they could chuck on people like Martial and Scott McTominay and put balls into the box. Chelsea can't put them balls into the box. There's a big difference there, isn't there? Man United just put balls in the box. Chelsea can't necessarily do it. They do put a ball in the box. And they get a corner. Alan says, no Mudryk, no party. What party's Mudryk had? I've never had an invite to that. Must be exclusive. Edge of the box. They've got to be careful, Chelsea, because on the break, Brentford have been quite good. We've had 2 minutes of the 6. Still time for Chelsea. Get Drogba out of retirement, says Stephen. Yeah, they need something. That's a foul as well. This is, I just realised, I think I'm going to have to do a match reaction to this if Chelsea lose. I'm getting the words Chelsea in crisis along here. I like one of those videos. Well, I'm sure I'll have a few Chelsea fans calling in on the Goldbridge show tonight. And why wouldn't they? Failing to score again. Three minutes to go. They've still got about 2 minutes here, Chelsea. Into Gallagher, edge of the box. I mean, a point's not great for Chelsea, is it? But they'll take a point. Sterling whips a good cross in, edge of the box. Reece James blocked. And oh my God, it's over. It's 2-0 and this is embarrassing for Chelsea. Absolutely embarrassing. The breaks happened. Oh, I tell you what. I put it there and they scored again. It's 2-0 to Brentford. And Bumo, the FPL legend. Chelsea, that ground's emptying now. It's like someone taking the plug out of the bath. It's emptying. Chelsea 2-0 to Brentford. And Bumo, the FPL GOAT. They were always leaving themselves open at the back here. Well, let's hope the media gets on Poch as much as they did Ten Hag. Because it's over for Poch. Just been done on the break. And the bottom line is, the interesting bottom line here is, amongst everything, is that no shot on target in the second half for Chelsea. 0 shots on target in the second half. Absolute shite. Absolute terrible. Yeah. Yeah, I'll come in a minute. 0 shots on target in the second half for Chelsea.
2-0.
Yeah, they're losing. And in the bottom half now. You got to shout this out. You know, you got to shout it out. £1 billion spent. No shots on target in the second half. Into the bottom half. Guess what? There's a game I used to play called Where's Wally? Where's Chelsea? Find Chelsea in the top 10. £1 billion spent. Where's Chelsea after 10 games? They're not there. And they're not on. It's not goal difference. They've got 12 points. They're not there. Just a crap Man City, says James. Well, I'm definitely doing a match. I'm definitely doing a. Oh, there it is. It's over. I'm definitely doing a match reaction for this. I'll get it uploaded for you in the next 15. But where's Wally? Where's Chelsea? Brentford have got what they deserved to get at Old Trafford a few weeks ago, to be fair. I'm glad they've won. Obviously, I didn't want them to win at Old Trafford, but they deserved to beat United, and they lost it in stoppage time. They deserved to win that today. Well done to Brentford. Chelsea, Poch, no shots on goal in the second half. £1 billion spent. The media darling, Pochettino, he ain't that good. I've always said he's overrated. He's a good manager, but he's overrated. Chelsea in crisis. I'm going to go and do a match reaction. I'll get it up in a minute. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. Don't forget I'm on TalkSport at 7:30 tonight. Might be a few Chelsea fans want to call in. I'll speak to you in a bit.